What's up, guys? This is your girl Bernicia. Welcome back to my channel. If you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. All right, y'all. So we've all been waiting for part 2 of the Baddies East. Not the Baddies East, sorry, the Baddies West reunion. Okay, so we've been waiting for part 2 to drop, and we finally have gotten what we've been waiting for tonight. Now, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I hope you weren't expecting much because there was not much given tonight. This reunion was pretty chaos, but there is a lot to talk about. Okay, so let's get into it. So we in part 2 of the reunion, and we're pretty much leaving off from where part 1 left off from, right? So you got Sky and Stunner Girl. They walked out at the same time, and both of the girls immediately jumped into attack mode. Stunner Girl ran off on Biggie. They had a little scruffle. Basically Stunner Girl pulled a little bit of hair, tried to get her one. Security broke that up, so they didn't really get a chance to fight. Then you have Sky, on the other hand, who ran off on Biggie. Ran off on Rolly. Sky ran into Rolly and ended up bouncing back. I mean, the bitch was doing all kind of ninja jump punches and shit and still wasn't connecting. I don't know what Sky's deal was, but she wasn't fucking with Rolly. Okay, so that's pretty much what part 2 started off from. You got Stunner Girl popping off, Stutter trying to get to Biggie, actually trying to fight Biggie and Rolly. And then you have Rolly trying to fight Sky. Okay, so what was interesting was there was points where Stunner Girl ran up on Biggie, and I seen that Biggie was running away. I was confused as hell because as soon as Sky, because the security was able to get everybody separated from when they initially started fighting. When Sky and Stunner Girl walked out onto the stage, the security wasn't able to, get everybody seated momentarily. So when the fighting did start back up, Stunner Girl ran at Biggie because I guess she still wanted some, you know what I'm saying? So Biggie, the camera caught Biggie running away. So I was confused as to when Sky and Rolly started back fighting. Stunner Girl ran over and was trying to jump Rolly with Sky, and Biggie ran up in a situation. It was trying to attack Stunner Girl after she jumped in on Rolly and Sky's fight. I was confused as to what made Biggie feel like it was okay to jump into a fight that was going on with Stunner Girl, Rolly, and Sky. I mean, even if Stunner Girl was trying to jump Rolly, bitch, you couldn't even handle your one. When Stunner Girl ran up on you, I feel like you should have dealt with that. You should have got that energy off on her then. Don't wait until she's engaged with somebody else to try to jump in, and you know what I'm saying? She claimed that she jumped in because she didn't want her to be on no jumping shit. But at the end of the day, you had a chance to handle Stunner Girl one-on-one. I would have made sure I got her ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, for all the shit talking and everything that had happened on the show, I feel like Biggie had the most energy with Stunner Girl. I feel like they should have been able to get their one. So I kind of like side-eyed the situation when she ran over there to try to help Rolly fight. You didn't have to help Rolly because Rolly was doing a damn good job. Stunner Girl nor Sky was fucking with Rolly. So I didn't see why she ran over there talking about she didn't want them to jump, no jumping and all of that. I just feel like she seen an opportunity for her to try to sneak Stunner Girl, and she ran her ass over there. I don't feel like it was because she was trying to stop them from jumping Rolly. Again, what reason did she have to defend Rolly? None. Moving on. So, anyway, they calm the security. Now, at this point, I feel bad for the security because they are literally like breaking up fights like every 2 seconds. Okay, so they break them up, calm them down again. They sit down for like 2 seconds. Rolly, at this point, I'm on the floor rolling around because Rolly ass is crazy as hell. She calling Sky a mangy mutt, and it's so funny because Sky do look like a fucking dog in the face, but it is what it is. So Rolly cussing out fucking Sky and Stunner Girl because, like, it seemed like every opportunity they get, as soon as Sky jump and hops up like a fucking bunny rabbit, here goes Stunner Girl trying to run in and help her fight Rolly, okay? Which I'm so confused about. Stunner Girl have all this motherfucking mouth, and she always talk about how a bitch jumped her all season, but yeah, every time I turn around, she's trying to jump Rolly. So make it make sense. I mean, you big badass, you could have waited to get your one. I mean, come on. Like, that's the one thing that Biggie had right this whole reunion. Like, bitch, you could have get your one. You sneaky. Like, why the fuck is you being sneaky? Like, trying to steal Rolly. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. So eventually, they break the girls up again, and then they're getting ready to bring out Tommy. Now, this is crazy because you got Natalie sitting up there acting belligerent. This bitch done drunk maybe 5-6 cups of fucking Casamigos at this point. So she all hype and shit. Come on, bitch, making angry faces and shit. I wanted to laugh at that shit, but part of me was scared for Tommy because homegirl was dead ass serious. So Tommy comes out. I don't know why she didn't come out like she was ready to fight. She came out, had to telling the security to take certain shit off of her or whatever. Woo to woo. But all this shit, all this energy that's been going on her internet, I don't see how she don't take Natalie serious by now. I mean, Natalie was dead ass serious when they had the boxing match. Everything that led up into that boxing match, Natalie was dead ass serious. So I don't understand why she wasn't. Once again, she coming to the scene underprepared. Like, come on, Tommy. I don't get it. It seemed like she thought she was taking shit for a joke, but she honestly, she had Natalie gunning for her, okay? So she comes out, Natalie started trying to call her out for a one. Tommy kind of taking things for, putting on that fake laugh, key. But, I could tell, like, obviously, bitch, you feel some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pressure on you right now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so there's that. So Tommy sits down like things all gravy. So Natalie jumps up and throws a drink at Tommy, which is the clip that you guys all seen on social media. So I find it quite ironic that Tommy made a lot of jokes about, had a lot to say about Cat rubbing lotion on Stunner Girl's arm, but yet you got a lady that's wiping down your whole motherfucking body. Bitch, if you didn't ask for, she could have asked somebody for a motherfucking towel to wipe that shit down. You had so much to say about the next bitch getting wiped down, but a rug wiped down, but you sitting up there letting somebody dry your ass off like you a fucking baby that just got out of the shower. Like, shut the fuck up. So Tommy ended up having a face-off with Kat. And I can tell that Tommy wasn't expecting, to have to fight Kat. Okay? And Tommy kept saying, you want to fight about that? You want to fight about that? Because I can tell that, she came expecting, certain females to have an issue with her, but I could certainly tell that Kat wasn't one of the people that she thought that she would have to fight, okay? And my thing is with Kat, first of all, she got a lot of heat for Tommy about shit that Tommy and Biggie was saying, but she already know that she was hit by affiliation, right? Because Tommy and Biggie never had a problem with Kat. They made jokes about Kat and may have said the little things about Kat, but at the same time, she have a lot of smoke and energy for Tommy when it wasn't just Tommy making the comments. She didn't have none of that energy for Biggie, and most importantly, she didn't have that energy for Stunner Girl. Because the way I see it, Stunner Girl could have came out and rectified that situation, or even said something and spoke out against those rumors, you know what I'm saying? But Stunner Girl didn't have anything to say, as far as, in Kat's defense. And mind you, Kat stood, she was with Stunner Girl most of the season. So I didn't understand why Stunner Girl didn't have anything to say in Kat's defense. Like, I wonder what happened with that whole situation there. And most importantly, like I said, Kat should have had that same energy for Stunner Girl, because she could have cleared all that shit up and nipped it in the bud. So Tommy turns to Rolly because she's like, I didn't know that we had a problem. I thought everything was good between us or whatever. So then she goes on to ask Rolly, did production make her say what she said, referring to when they were in London, and her and Rolly got into it verbally, and Rolly yelled out and said that she was doing drugs or whatever. So Rolly goes on to say that nobody told her to say that. So then Tommy's like, why? What would make you say that? But my whole thing is, and then Rolly, well, after she said that, then Rolly says, you know, I say anything when I'm hitting below the belt. Like when we argue, I'm gonna hit below the belt or whatever. Woo. First of all, I feel like if it wasn't true, like if Rolly hadn't been told that, specifically told that, I don't feel like she should have blurted that out, because for one, it's national TV. So it's one thing when you arguing with a person, but just blatantly lie. But at the same time, that rumor about Tommy being on the booger sugar is nothing new. Okay, we've been hearing that for a while now. So it's not like Rolly was the first person to have said this about Tommy. Okay, and her behavior it speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? So if she's not on drugs, she damn sure act erratic at times. Well, erratic at times. So with that being said, her and Rolly are at this point they're having what would be a civilized conversation, but you have Stunner Girl on the other hand, who just simply won't shut the hell up. So she started talking shit, and Rolly can't even finish what the hell she's saying to Tommy, which could have been a moment of resolution, but because Stunner Girl wouldn't shut the fuck up, that sparked back up all the beef and the chaos or whatnot. So then, Tommy, she accidentally pops off her taser, because I'm assuming she didn't want anybody to know that she had a taser. Like, I don't know if the taser was connected to her phone case or what, but the homegirl had a taser, because we all saw it pop off. Okay, so Low London calls her out, and so she goes back and forth. She's getting rowdy, and what a whoop de whoop with Low London saying, oh, first she was like, Low London lying on her, she ain't got no taser, whoop de whoop. But then she busts out and say, oh, I got 4 bitches wanting to fight me. First of all, Tommy act like she hard as fuck. She talked a lot of shit on the internet. It's so many things that she did. I don't understand why she didn't come. You know what I'm saying? Like, she came with a taser, and then not only that, she came on some, like, you know what I'm saying? Her energy wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell that Tommy just, I don't know if she expected a fight or whatever the case is, because it didn't seem like she had that energy in her that she normally has. Allegedly it's the booger sugar that gives her that superwoman thing, but it is what it is. So she didn't have the energy that she normally have, which I feel like this was the wrong time to try to be calm, classy Tommy. Now was the time to get your issue, but it is what it is. On the other hand, you know what I'm saying? I just don't like, and another thing, I don't like how she gets off on how she seems to be getting, a lot of energy when it comes to everybody else, but she still ain't giving Natalie her one. You got Natalie in the corner screaming and yelling, "Get out, bitch!" But she still won't give Natalie back that same energy. So something got me feeling like she's scared. Like Natalie put a little fear in her heart, because ain't no way in the hell you getting all boosted badass with everybody else. She popped off on Cat. She popped off on Low London. She acted like she wanted to pop off on Low London, but she didn't have that same type of energy for Natalie. Something's wrong there, homegirl. You act too tough to be not having that energy for Natalie with her doing all that rah-rah. And that's another thing. See, this whole reunion is ratchet as hell. You know what I'm saying? Which I get it. That's the whole point of the show, the entertainment, the fighting, and all of that. That's what people come to see. But you have other shows. Prime example, the shows on Oxygen. Okay, they had reunions where there was fighting and there was also moments of civilization. These girls couldn't get not one moment of civilization. What I think that Zeus should have did was limit camera time. If they wasn't going to act accordingly, they shouldn't have been allowed to be on stage. Like when it's time to have conversations and they can't get with the program, they ass should have been booted. No camera time for y'all. You know what I'm saying? They should have had some type of structure, because there was no structure at all. Like even if there could have been some resolution, because all of these different dramas is hearsay. She said this, she said that. Had they had some type of structure, maybe they would have actually had something would have came of this. Okay, this reunion ended in pure shit. Okay, but let me continue. Moving on. So anyway, child. So Natalie, no, not Natalie, Scotty, she comes out of nowhere, going off on Tommy about the taser situation. I just feel like at this point, this bitch have been activated. Like Natalie activated this bitch. Like, come on, dog, get her, sick her. Like, cause it's like, where, I mean, I understand if Tommy and Natalie was fighting and Tommy was getting the better of Natalie, and then Sky jumped in as her friend. Even then, that's flawed, but still, that's her friend. So if that was the situation, I could see that. But I didn't know for her to have any beef with Tommy. You know what I'm saying? Tommy and Natalie got their own issue, but I didn't know for Sky specifically to have any beef with Tommy, for her to be like getting all rah-rah. So I was just like, bitch, go sit down. Like the Casamigos must have kicked in. Maybe she felt like because Tommy was already being attacked by so many people, it was okay to jump in. Who knows? But girl, sit down, because she knows she didn't want that 101 with Tommy while she was getting all crunk up and boo-boo. But anyway, Natalie ends up getting escorted off the stage by Lenny. I guess he was back there trying to talk some sense into her, because at the end of the day, bitch, you supposed to be the executive producer. Why you up here acting like a wild-ass animal? I don't know. So he pulls Natalie off the side, you know what I'm saying, to go, make her chill off or whatever. So anyway, meanwhile, Rolly yelling and arguing with Sky still, and she's blurting out shit, talking about Sky was fucking one of the cast members of Bobby I Love You per show. So it's just like, okay, well, is this tea or is this not? Because I know like this is so random. It's just such a random thing to say for Rolly to be pulling it out her ass. Now, don't get me wrong. She have slighted her credibility a little bit with her talking about she hit below the belt and shit. But damn, for her to just pull that out her ass, like, what kind of shit is that? It had to be some type of affiliation between Sky and whatever gay dude that she was allegedly having sex with. She looked like the type that'll take whatever dick come her way. But then, hey, it is what it is. We don't know if that's true or not, but Rolly was damn sure going for the low blows. And whatever she said to Sky, damn sure got Sky hot. So, as they say, a hit dog will holler. Now, Tommy, so Kat goes and change. Her and Low London, they go and change and put on some war gear, honey, because Kat came back out in her sweatsuit and she wanted something with Tommy. She wanted a round with Tommy. So Tommy kept on like, oh, I only had it. Why was she doing all that? Explain it. I mean, I feel like at this point, especially if somebody coming at me sideways and I don't really know, I don't feel like they should have a real issue with me, I'm just gonna go ahead and handle the issue. Like, I don't understand why Tommy was sitting up there trying to, and don't get me wrong, like, part of me is like, okay, well, that's good that Tommy was trying to be rational and have a conversation and whoop the whoop. But at the same time, that ship sailed a long time ago, because all of the things that these girls was doing prior to coming to the show, they already knew what time it was. Everybody, all the cast members knew what time it was. If Tommy wanted to play it safe, she should have did what Razor did. Stay that ass the fuck away from the show. Don't come to the reunion. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, if you coming to fight whoever you had an issue with the whole season. Okay, so with her talking to Kat, I'm like, okay, well, Kat is coming out of left field, because like I said, her energy is misdirected. She need to direct the energy to the motherfucker who needs the straightening. But I don't see her. I don't understand why she not addressing the person who really should have spoken up and said something. Like, I'd have been like, hey, you could have told these motherfuckers that, you know what I'm saying, what time it was. You know what I'm saying? I was just with you. You know what I'm saying? Keeping you company because you were separated from the group. But you letting people make it seem like I'm an assistant. Why won't you speak up and say something? I would have confronted her had I been Kat. But Kat decided to direct her energy to Tommy. Okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Cat, to me, girl, it's too late to try to get your shine on. It's too late to prove a point. If you that silly Philly bitch, you waited too long to try to get your issue off. Okay, Tommy is looking weaker by the second at this point, because it's like, how you letting all these bitches try you? You know what I'm saying? And most importantly, why she didn't just run off and get her issue off with Natalie? That would have sealed the deal right there. Once she got her issue off with Natalie, I think that would have been the end of it. Because clearly her and Natalie's situation runs deep, okay? But she didn't have that energy for Natalie, and she damn sure ain't have it for Kat just now. So, I mean, I don't know what to say about this, y'all. So Stevie J, he running around the damn stage like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to get everybody to calm down. I could tell this whole situation aged his ass like 10 years sitting on that damn stage. I mean, the man was tired. I could tell he was out of breath. When he went home after this reunion, I bet he took a good ass motherfucking nap. Probably took him some motherfucking Geritol bitch to help with them bones from running around trying to hold bitches while they being rabid animals. But I have to give him his props though, because he did a better job at hosting than Janisha has. That bitch had no top dot shit. She had no top dot, and seen in the first fucking part 1, she had no top dot. Homegirl was tired. But so the couple of times that they did sit down, it was thanks to Stevie J. So he gets down, he trying to, let Rolly get some shit off her chest, asking Rolly about the beef, what's the real issue between her and Stunner Girl. So Stunner Girl, meanwhile, is on the other side of the couch yelling and shit. You know what? Her and Natalie and fucking DJ Sky, they ass need to be cut from the reunion at this point, because them three has been... Like, nobody can get anything resolved, and that's a big, big thank you to them three. Like, I get it, y'all coming out to fight, but what the fuck is the issue? Like, what we're gonna do? Just fight? Like, is there gonna be some resolution? Because clearly the security is not gonna let anybody get off the way that they want to. So I don't understand why this kept going on and on. But so then you have Stevie J trying to talk to Rolly, but you have Stunner Girl talking shit. And I noticed that she always like to talk about, Rolly weight or whatever. Girl, you so motherfucking tired and play out all them fat jokes. Like, clearly we can see the bitch fat. I know when she wake up in the mornings and go to sleep, she knows that she's fat. So I don't understand, like, the fat jokes is tired out. Like, the bitch can't come up with no other remarks, but Rolly over there saying how she gonna motherfucking teabag. Teabag Stunner Girl's boyfriend. Shit, I halfway believe those shit. She probably could teabag that nigga. Hell, he already hit bitches. He a bitch ass nigga, so he might get tea. He might just be teabag. Shit. But yeah, I mean, this shit is chaos. Man, this is chaos. So despite Stunner Girl barking in the background like a fucking chihuahua, started talking shit, Stevie gets Rolly and Biggie to having a conversation about why they stopped talking or whatever. And so Rolly basically tells Biggie that she got frustrated with all the negative energy from Biggie, because it's like only thing she wanted to do was focus on whatever her issue was with Stunner Girl. She said, like, and we seen that ourselves through the show. Every confessional, Stunner Girl. Every time they were, from what we seen, every time they were on camera, Biggie was pressed by Stunner Girl, and it was times where Stunner Girl wouldn't even have said nothing to her, but it's like you can clearly tell that there was negative energy directed towards Stunner Girl. So Biggie wants to sit here and act like she was unbothered by Stunner Girl, but clearly you were. And it was so bad to where people just didn't want to deal with you. Like Rolly, for example. Rolly had got into it with Stunner Girl, don't care for Stunner Girl either. But at the end of the day, even she was tired of hearing about whatever you had going on with Stunner Girl. People get tired of hearing the same bitch name. Same thing like when one of your homegirls break up with a nigga and they started talking about the nigga 24/7. Like, bitch, if you don't get the fuck over this nigga and go find you a new nigga, like, it's too many niggas out there. Same thing with Biggie. If you don't get the fuck over your issue and worry about something else, you giving a bitch too much energy, okay? You should never give the next bitch that much energy. It's one thing to have an issue with a motherfucker, but to wake up thinking about him, go to sleep thinking about him, in your free time thinking about him, just mad for no motherfucking reason, never let a bitch press you that hard. And this conversation, I found it really interesting. And not only that, Biggie can't seem to take accountability. Like, she want to sit here and make it seem like she was just happy-go-lucky. No, bitch, you wasn't. You was pretty unhappy a lot of the time. So anyway, Janisha appears back on stage, kind of like Lord Voldemort. You call his name and he just magically appeared. That's kind of how she appeared back on stage. And here she go again with the stupid-ass questions. I guess she wanted to come when things calm down, but this motherfucker come out there asking stupid ass questions and getting everybody riled up again. Because the first thing she does once everybody get calm is ask how do they feel about Razor not being at a reunion. I could have sworn we had a conversation about Razor in the first motherfucking part 1. So I don't understand why she bringing that up again, asking that dumbass question. And of course, everybody goes, all the chaos start. So anyway, they end up playing a video for Krishan. Krishan, she's not there, so she makes a little video, telling everybody that she's revealing to everybody she's pregnant. Of course, we already know that at this point. So so she's revealing that she's pregnant, and she's giving her final thoughts about the girls, but the whole time they playing her motherfucking video is chaos. So you got Tommy being escorted off the stage. I guess she get tired. I don't know what the case is, but Tommy gets up, exiting off the stage. So then now they gets up behind her, and start talking shit like, bring that bitch here. She going ballistic and everything. So at this point, I'm just ready for them to go ahead and fight, because I'm so tired of Natalie calling Tommy out and Tommy not bugging. I mean, what's up with that? But anyway, Tommy gets up to get off the stage. Meanwhile, Krishan's still in the background talking. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if Krishan thought that she was the one who made the show, this right here inadvertently, as shady as it was, proved that she wasn't the show. You feel me? Because the whole time she was doing her little, the send away, final thoughts or whatever have you, it was just pure chaos going on in the background. That was ultimately very rude and disrespectful. So here's where things start to get interesting. Basically, Natalie, she's still calling out for Tommy or whatever. You got Janisha, she trying to, she in the background still trying to hold a conversation with Lo London, to ask Lo London about, how does she feel about her situation with Krishan. At this point, any questions that Janisha asking is irrelevant, because none of them girls is hearing that shit. And so she turns around and she asks Stunner, she was like, Stunner, that's all you want to do is fight? Stunner gets up, runs at Biggie. Runs at Rolly. I don't know what it is with them running up on Rolly, but them bitches keep bouncing back. Like, I don't get it. But Stunner been trying to fight all night. She just been running up on whoever the fuck closer to her. So I'll hand it to Stunner. The bitch can't fight, but she damn sure ain't scared. Like, and I give her more props. I give her props, especially since Tommy ass ain't stepping up to the plate. Tommy started sitting up there talking and doing all that boufale shit, but Stunner girl getting her issue. Whoever she got a problem with, she running up trying to get her lick. So I can respect Stunner for that, because shit, one thing about it, homegirl ain't scary. On the other hand, so Stunner girl and Biggie, Stunner girl, I keep calling Rolly Biggie, sorry. But Rolly and Stunner girl finally get their little 1 minute of a, head up. So now I see a lot of debates online, people saying that Stunner girl won. First of all, Stunner girl didn't win shit, okay? I think that this was a fight, this little 1 minute hit acquittal fight. This allowed both Big Rolly and Stunner Girl to get their issue off, because after they had their little fight, both of them sat down and neither one of them ran at each other for the remaining of the reunion. So I'm feeling like both of them got a few good licks off each other, and that was enough. Okay, so Stunner Girl, she did get one good lick in, because I heard when she connected, and walked Rolly, but with that being said, I don't feel like she won that fight. I feel like it was kind of like a tie. Maybe if they would have gave it another minute or two, we would have really seen. But for the most part, Rolly was tagging her ass, and Stunner got a lick in. So I feel like that fight kind of like, tied itself out. Either way, both of the girls sat their ass down. They was done with each other. So hell, that's what I would have liked to seen that for the whole damn cast. Whoever had a fight, get that 1 minute in and be done. So anyway, and before I move on, did y'all catch how Stunner checked Natalie? So it was at one point they was in the back. Fucking Stunner Girl and Natalie, they both were off stage and they were coming back to the stage. So Natalie started yelling at Stunner Girl like, yeah, you better calm down. I guess she was trying to tell Stunner Girl to calm down so that they can get to her fight with Tommy, to Natalie's fight with Tommy. So she doing all that yelling at Stunner Girl. Stunner Girl say, hold up, I'm not Scotty. You ain't finna be, handling me, like talking to me in a kind of way. I'm not Scotty. And I was super surprised, as amped up as Natalie was, she was really preserving all her energy for Tommy ass, because she just kind of like let that shit flew over her head. But at the same token, I kind of feel bad for Scotty, because it's gonna be this thing, like, even though Scotty and Natalie got over whatever little issue that they had doing the show with Natalie popping off on Scotty, I feel like they're never really going to be able to get over that. You know what I'm saying? Because the people is going to constantly it's like every time Natalie have something to say, you're gonna have people throwing it up in her face, like, "Oh, I'm not Scotty, and that's gonna put Scotty and Natalie in an odd position. Because you know what I'm saying? If someone keep throwing it up in my face that about some shit, I'm gonna feel some kind of way. So I wouldn't be surprised if Scotty ends up being on Baddies East, and her and Natalie get into it. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah. Shit got crazy. So the security finally stepped back and let Natalie get 1 minute in with Tommy, right? So the way that Natalie slung Tommy ass around that stage, they made no sense. Like, at this point, I'm so disappointed with Tommy, because I know, I have seen Tommy fight. You know what I'm saying? I know the girl got some hands. She don't whoop plenty of bitches' ass, and she got a mean ass right hand. So I don't understand. I'm so disappointed with her. Like, this whole reunion, she ain't give what she's supposed to give. Like, I thought she was gonna come with that energy. You know what I'm saying? She basically sat there and made herself look pussy, so much so that everybody tried her on the stage damn near, including motherfucking Kat and Sky. I was like, Kat and Scotty, because I was like, what the fuck? You got the two most least aggressive bitches on stage trying to fight you. You gotta be fucking pussy. Like, they you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how they trying her. And I don't like that, Tommy, because I feel like she could do a lot. I feel like Tommy could have gave a lot. So the fact that she sat there and let Natalie wipe the stage with her ass, I don't get it. So Tommy gets mad because once they break up the fight, Natalie, she kills me because the bitch always falling. Every fight she always falling. But she did, before she fell, in this instance, she did get her licks in. Well, with that being said, the security breaks up the fight or whatever and pull Natalie to the back. So Tommy mad because, like, the security at this point, the security not letting her get to nobody. So she tries to run up a Stunner Girl. She gets blocked. Okay, so now that she you know what I'm saying, they don't made her mad. So she ready to fight now, and the security is not letting her get her issue. So at this point, she's like knocking down shit, destroying they fucking set. So the security let Natalie run her ass and tag her again. And I believe the only reason that they allowed Natalie to come back and get a couple of more licks was the fact that she was fucking up their shit. I believe that part was intentional. But with that being said, that pretty much wraps up the reunion. So after they fight, everybody kind of disperses and go about their business. But side note, I heard Rolly when she yelled out and said something about a nigga on the stage. I'm trying to figure out who this nigga was. Like, was this nigga with Tommy, or was this Stunner Girl nigga? Because we all know he like to pop up and have and be her motherfucking bodyguard and shit. Which I don't blame him, because obviously Stunner Girl was there fighting multiple people. But with that being said, I'm wondering who this man was that ran up on stage. Rolly like, hold up, who's a nigga here? Da, 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 da. And you can hear, like, while the security guards, some of the security guards was trying to deal with Natalie and Tommy, you could hear commotion in the background. So I'm very upset that Zeus didn't even show that much, because I mean, for what it's worth, the reunion was a shit show anyway, so they might as well have showed what was going on behind over there on the side behind the scenes, because I would have really liked it to know what man came for which girl. But whatever, that was the reunion, and like I told y'all, it was shit. So I scratched it out, and hopefully I didn't miss no details. That was pretty much it. That's it. There you guys have it. That's my recap for Baddies West Reunion Part 2. So my whole synopsis of the show is, um, this season was definitely way better to me than the previous season. With the first season, after the first few episodes, I kind of got a little bored or what have you. But honestly, this season, every episode gave me something to tune in for. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot. They put some entertainment in there. Okay, but what I would like to see for Baddies East, I would like to see them doing something else. I don't have any immediate suggestions, but I would like to see something besides them going to the club and fighting. And fucking twerking and getting dressed, because that's pretty much most of what Zeus displays. Okay, like, I understand they're in the Baddies house, they're trying to promote themselves. I would like to see more of the business aspect of it, because all of these women, Janisha wrapped up the show saying that all these women are bosses in their own right, but we unfortunately didn't get to see that. Okay, so, like, for example, prime example, Razor, I know, outside of the show, she has legit businesses. One of the most legit that I know of, and the show didn't show her in a very good light either. And I feel like, okay, we know that being a business owner doesn't make you a perfect person. I would have liked to see more of how these girls, handled their business, aside from the fighting and showing up at the clubs. You know what I'm saying? I want to see a different dynamic. So hopefully in Baddies East, Natalie bring that shit and show how these girls really get the bag. Like, going to the clubs is showing up at a club ain't the only way to get a bag. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully she shows more of that, in Baddies East. But with that being said, oh yeah, and Janisha, like I say, Janisha, she's beautiful, gorgeous, but to me, she's not fitting as a host. I do have a recommendation, however, for a host. I've already told you guys, if you listen to my previous videos, that I think that the guy from No Jumper, Sharp, I think that he would make a good host, because he has enough, wherewithal in him to kind of control the situation. And I've seen interviews that he's done with women who have that fighting mentality, and he's been able, I see how he can control certain conversations. So I feel like he would be a good host for the next reunion that they have. They need to get some fresh meat in there, because Stevie J was pointless. He was busy being stressed the fuck out. Like, I literally sat there and watched this man age this whole video, because he couldn't get whatever he was expecting. He damn sure didn't get what he was expecting. Okay, with that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think about the reunion. Do you think that Baddies East will be any better than this season? Baddies West. How do you guys, what do you guys think about the whole